Hi everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the process I'm going through with my handbag collection to reduce the number of bags I have down to 20. This is something that I decided to do just, being in my closet, office space, getting dressed in the morning. I just felt overwhelmed. And that I had too many bags, and it was to the point where it was kind of a point of stress for me. It just felt like too much consumption, too many things. And so I kind of did some reflecting on what would feel like a good number. At the time I had 28 bags, I believe, in total. And I was like, no, I have to get it down to a more reasonable number, get it down to 20 bags just as a tighter capsule. Now 20 bags, still a lot of bags, and it's 20 Chanel and Hermes luxury bags. I still have Stony Clover bags that I'm not including in the 20. And so it really is a lot of bags, and it just felt, I don't know, I feel a little bit of pressure on these things can kind of just help me feel a little bit more in control. Believe it or not, based on my channel, I know that I have this stack of bags in the background. I just feel like I like a cleaner space, and I like things to be very orderly. I'm a very organized person, and so when it was just so many things, it was overwhelming. And I also didn't like the feeling that, things weren't getting used. These things are meant to be used. They're meant to be worn. They're meant to be taken out, not to sit on my shelf and collect dust. And so I kind of went through a process with all of the bags that I have, reflecting on a few things. So I made a list of kind of my thought process for narrowing the collection until it's something that is a better, more edited capsule than just amassing every single bag in the world. That will not work for me. That works for a lot of people. Some people, they like having a lot of stuff, or they even, they have giant rooms that they can display all their things in beautifully, and that works for them. It doesn't work for me. And I feel different phases of life will kind of bring in different ways of being. And so there was a time where obviously that felt like I needed all 28 of those bags. I did buy them. They weren't foisted upon me or whatever. But then having them, I was like, okay, I want to reduce it. And so I did, and this is the process that I used. And so I just want to share it in case it's helpful to any of you. This definitely isn't one of those, I'm selling all my bags, I'm getting rid of all my bags, luxury is over type of things. I don't believe that. I really love a lot of these, and keeping a majority of them, obviously. But I just feel if it's more curated, each one kind of has more space, a better moment to shine. It's more specific, and it brings more enjoyment to me actually having a little bit less. Let me know if that makes sense. But anyway, the process that I went through. So the first question I asked, obviously, is, do I wear it? And there are a few bags where it's I had worn it once, I knew it didn't work for me, and then from then on, I wasn't using it, I wasn't wearing it. It was literally, it was dusty, right? I would be like, oh, gotta dust it off because it's been sitting in the same place for several weeks. That's what happens in homes where humans live. So, that made it really clear okay, if I'm not wearing it, it needs to move on. Now, there are a couple bags that I'm not wearing that I did keep because I'm feeling sentimental about them. So that's something else that I just have to process through, but being gentle with myself, being it's okay to be sentimental about some bags, and, recognize that and move on. But the first question was, do I wear it? Then the second question is if I wear it, do I like how I feel when I wear it? And this one really helped me kind of clarify my sense of personal style more. For example, last summer, I sold my, I believe it was last summer. I think, oh no. You guys will maybe correct me, but I sold my square denim Chanel mini because I was wearing it a lot and I really liked that bag. But as it got softer and softer, and I thought that I liked that it got softer and softer, but as I was wearing it more and more, I just felt like it didn't feel elegant. It didn't feel refined. It felt kind of like messy in a way that I didn't like. Versus the 22 here, that bag is like relaxed in a non-messy way to me, or like it's like more designed to be a beautiful mess. And so with the Chanel Square Mini, it was just like, I just didn't like the way that it felt when I used it. It didn't feel like I was using something beautiful. It didn't make me feel elegant. It didn't make me feel grown up. It kind of made me feel like messy and sloppy, and I didn't like it. So I sold that. And so that was like the next question I asked myself is like, do I like the way I feel when I'm using this piece? Like, does it align with my current aesthetic, the way that I want to be, how I want to show up to places, how I want to appear to people? And I think that was a really helpful question, because it's not like, do I like the bag? Because you might like the bag for someone else, but not for yourself. But do you like how you feel? I think that one was like a very clarifying and specific question for me. And then the next question was, do I have another bag that I could easily substitute in place of this one? And this really came down for narrowing down my number of pink bags, where it's like, yes, okay, maybe I do wear the bag, I do like the bag, but I could just as easily choose either of these two. Like I don't need both. Like there's no world where I'm reaching for this bag where I couldn't just as easily pick this one. That kind of showed me that there was like duplication in the collection, and me wanting to get kind of to something a little bit more capsule. There's not really room for that kind of duplication unless I feel very passionate about it. If I feel very passionate, of course, I'd be like, for example, my tweed minis. I'm like, well, I'd wear this tweed mini when I'm wearing the matching jacket, and I'd wear this tweed mini when I'm wearing the other matching jacket. Can't really swap either of those out in that situation. And so, for me, both of those obviously stayed. But for another bag, then it was like, oh, okay, well, if there's like an easy swap here, and actually I find myself leaning a little bit more towards one over the other, and I just use the other one for the sake of variety, I was like, no, it has to go. Nothing just stays for the sake of variety. This is capsule. This is not the variety show. So that was the next question. And then the last question, and this one was a tough one, because, it's not something, I don't know. It's not something I want to go into too much on my YouTube channel. But the next question I asked myself was, do I have any negative feelings associated with this bag? And that could be a bunch of different things. It could be like, the way that I felt when I bought the bag at the time, like my experience in the boutique, or it could be like, I just remember using it when something bad happened, or just, and for me, like I can totally start associating, like the same way that I'm sentimental about some bags that I've had a long time, like the same way that I'm sentimental about my Neverfull, because I'm like, I built my career with my Neverfull, we did it together, and have positive memories associated with that bag. I can also associate negative memories with a bag. So if something bad happened, I feel like if there's like bad juju around the bag, and I just, every time I see it, I would think of that negative experience. I was like, it doesn't matter. It has to go. And so that was kind of like the last set few bags that I just decided to part with, where I was like, no, this is just, it just gives me a bad feeling, and I need it out of my space, out of my house. I know that's like a little woo-woo, but I am kind of like believing in that sort of energies and all of that sort of thing. Anyway, so those questions really helped me sort through my collection. I'm still in the process of moving one more bag out. It's like right over there. And so I'm like gonna move it on. And then I do have a bag on my wish list from Chanel 23K. It's the Sherpa flat bag. And so I'm gonna try and figure out maybe if I could pick one more to really get down to 20. In reality, the one more like that I would get rid of is my Neverfull, because I honestly never use it. I've gone back to using my Longchamp bag or Birkin. Like it's, you're right, I'm at the two ends of the spectrum and the Neverfull's kind of in the middle. I really haven't used it in over 2 years. I'm just very sentimental about it. So I don't know. I may give myself a break on that one and be like, okay, because I'm keeping it for sentimental reasons and not for handbag reasons, I will allow myself to go to 21. Like it is a very arbitrary number. There's just like no magic behind that number or anything like that. But I'm still kind of thinking it through because I really would like to stick to 20. So we will figure it out. But anyway, hopefully this video is helpful to you. I'd love to hear about how you curate your collection down below, how you think about these things. And otherwise, I hope you're having a really great day. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.